British colonisation of Central Africa had been relatively slow compared to that of other regions, and by the mid-1800s had only claimed coastal areas and had not penetrated deeply inland. Nevertheless, there were inevitable conflicts as they expanded, and a military medal was deemed appropriate on several occasions. For 3 of these events, the government decided that, despite the time frame of over 30 years and conflicts of a different nature, to award the same medal for all those involved. The first campaign for which this medal was awarded was the Third Anglo-Ashanti War, fought between June 1873 and February 1874. The British had been in conflict with the Ashanti on 2 previous occasions. The first in the 1820s resulted in heavy British casualties and an agreement on a formal border. The second, in 1863, started when the Ashanti crossed the border and African and Indian troops responded. Neither side claimed victory as illness took more casualties on both sides than the actual fighting. The second war ended in a stalemate in 1864. The third war started as a result of the British expanding their territory when they purchased the Dutch Gold Coast from the Dutch, including Elmina, which was claimed by the Ashanti. The Ashanti were not in favour of the new arrangements and invaded the new British protectorate. General Garnet Wolseley was sent against the Ashanti with 2,500 British troops and several thousand West Indian and African troops. The first troops arrived in late December and on the 1st of January 1874 started marching along a road hacked through the jungle by the Royal Engineers, started 3 months earlier, heading for the Ashanti capital of Kumasi, 260 kilometres inland. By the 29th of January they were close to the Ashanti outposts. Skirmishing between the 2 forces began and Wolseley prepared for a fight. The first substantial clash was at the Battle of Amoaful and fought on the 31st of January 1874, when, in an attack led by the 42nd Regiment of Foot, Wolseley defeated the Ashanti after they put up a strong resistance. Such was the determination of the battle that Lance Sergeant Samuel McGraw of the 42nd was awarded a Victoria Cross. 2 days later there was another smaller battle at Odashu. It was a much more decisive affair and the route to Kumasi was open. Between the 2 battles the British force suffered some 200 killed or wounded. The Ashanti abandoned their capital before the British arrived on the 4th of February, leaving them free to occupy Kumasi. They demolished the royal palace with explosives and set fire to the rest of the settlement's houses, leaving Kumasi a heap of smouldering ruins. The war was formally ended on July of 1874 with the signing of the Treaty of Formina. Among the articles of the treaty between Queen Victoria and the King of the Ashanti were that the King of Ashanti promises to pay the sum of 50,000 ounces of approved gold as indemnity for the expenses he has occasioned to Her Majesty the Queen of England by the late war. With the campaign successfully over, Wolseley was promoted and showered with honours. Total British casualties were about 1,100, although of the 73 killed, far more died of disease rather than enemy action. The medal awarded for the Third Anglo-Ashanti War was instituted on the 1st of June 1874 and was awarded to British, colonial and Allied native forces under the command of Wolseley, who were deployed against the Army of the Ashanti from June 1873 to February 1874. Forces present included the Royal Navy, 2 battalions of the West India Regiment, the Rifle Brigade, and a battalion each from the 23rd and 42nd Foot. Some 6,400 medals were eventually awarded. After many years of having the young Queen design on the obverse of Victorian medals, in the Ashanti we at last see an updated design. Designed by Leonard Charles Wyon and known as the Veiled Profile, the obverse depicts a left-facing, middle-aged Queen wearing a crown and a veil. Around the edge runs the inscription, Victoria Regina, Victoria the Queen. The reverse, designed by Sir Edward Poynter, shows an unusually busy scene of bushfighting between British and Ashanti in dense jungle, inspired by the campaign. Fallen and injured combatants of both sides lay at the feet of soldiers and warriors facing off at close quarters. Surely one of the most atmospheric scenes of all the Victorian medals. The medal disc, which is 36mm in diameter, is suspended from its ribbon by a straight silver swivelling suspender, and the ribbon, which is 32mm wide, is yellow with black edges and 2 narrow black central stripes. The medals were named around the edge with neat, square-looking serif capitals, with the recipient's name, rank, serial number, regiment, and the dates 1873-74. Unusually, the lettering was originally blacked in to highlight the text, but frequently this blacking does not survive the passage of time. One clasp was authorised, that for Kumasi, awarded to those present at the Battle of Amophil and the capital of Kumasi, and those protecting the lines of communications north of the Pra River. The medal shown here was awarded to James Calloway. James was born in Kent in 1838 and joined the Navy in 1854. He served for 25 years and was aboard HMS Seagull as a first-class petty officer as she aided in operations off the coast. 18 years later, on the 1st of November 1872, the medal was once again issued, this time as the East and West Africa Medal. In most respects, the two medals are identical, including the ribbon. However, the latter was in fact slightly thinner. The East and West Africa Medal was awarded for minor campaigns that took place in East and West Africa between 1887 and 1900 against local tribesmen, generally in response to attacks against Europeans or neighbouring tribes, or for the operations to suppress slavery. Most medals were granted to personnel from either the Royal Navy, the West India Regiment, or British-led local forces. No units of the British Army were awarded this medal. A total of 21 clasps were awarded. However, it should be noted that recipients to the early Ashanti Medal, who also qualified for the East and West Africa Medal, were only awarded the appropriate clasp to be added to their existing Ashanti Medal. In a twist to the usual issuing of clasps, those who served in the Mwele campaign of 1895 and 96 on the Kenyan coast did not receive a clasp, but received the medal with the inscription Mwele and the dates 1895 or 1895-96 engraved on the rim, next to their impressed or engraved names. The medal shown here was issued to Private J. Wright, a Marine aboard HMS Fort. He was aboard as she patrolled the coast and rivers of Benin, West Africa, between February and August of 1897. In an early case of recycling, the design was used for a third and final time when Army Order No. 66 of the 1st of April 1895 authorised a medal for military expeditions from July 1891 to June 1894 in British Central Africa. It was later authorised for service in the region from 1895 to 1898. The main cause for these expeditions were to suppress slave trading and to punish raids on neighbouring tribes. As with the East and West Africa, the medal was largely awarded to members of the Indian Army and British-led local forces, although a small number of seconded officers and Royal Naval personnel undertaking river operations did receive this award. While the medal disc is identical to the original Ashanti medal, back and front, a major difference comes with the medal suspension. The initial issue of the Central Africa Medal was issued with a swivel ring, similar to the Abyssinian Medal issued 20 years earlier. However, when the medal's authorization was extended in 1895, the medal was issued with its only clasp, that for Central Africa 1894-98. The medal was suspended from its ribbon by a straight bar swivelling suspender. The ribbon is also very different from its predecessors. The Central Africa Medal has 3 equal stripes, black, white and pale brown. The colours symbolise the troops who took part, African, European and Indian. The medal shown here was awarded to a sepoy, Indar Singh, who served with the 30th Infantry Battalion. Thank you for watching, and join me again next time when we stay with the Ashanti and look at the medal awarded for the 4th Anglo-Ashanti War in 1895.